Welcome to today's session on power system operation and control. In today's class, we are going to see the single area system with dynamic analysis of uncontrolled and controlled cases. Also, we are going to see the integral control of the single area system. First, we have to know what is dynamic analysis. When we are giving a sudden disturbance to a load to a system, and we have to track how the frequency changes with respect to time before it reaching the steady state value. This process will say it as dynamic analysis. The solution for this dynamic equations will be obtained from the differential equation, and when we take the inverse Laplace transform for the function, we will be getting our dynamic analysis, that is del f of t. This from the automatic load frequency control loop, the static response gives the frequency accuracy and the dynamic response gives the stability of the loop. First, single area system for the dynamic analysis of uncontrolled case. So we know uncontrolled case means our speed changer is not going to change. We are going to fix the speed changer. So del PC value is equal to 0 and only our load demand changes. So here we will be having a summing point. That summing point is equal to 0 as input del PC is 0 and we have only del PD. And this is the block diagram for the single area system under uncontrolled case. Now we are going to reduce this block diagram. So just block diagram reduction. This will be a G of S and all these things will be a H of S. So G of S by 1 plus G of S H of S. G of S divided by 1 plus G of S into H of S. H of S is a feedback system. Negative we have taken it as negative feedback. Okay, and your input is minus del PD, so your del PD you have to put this minus sign. Be careful in putting this sign. Next we have to take the inverse Laplace for the given function to find the dynamic analysis, but in this function our denominator is a large system, it is a third order system, so to find the inverse Laplace transform is somewhat difficult. So we are going to reduce the equation by considering some assumption. So if you see, the time constant of a power system is 20 seconds and time constant of your governor will be 0.4 second and time constant of your turbine will be 0.5 second. If we see, our Tg will be less than Tt, which is less than Tp. So your Tg Tt value is very less and it can be neglected. So we are going to consider only Tp value. So your Tg and Tt value will be equal to 0. And also we have assumed already our Kg Kt value will be equal to 1. So by assuming all these things, our block diagram is reduced to this format. So we are having only the power system block and with a negative feedback of 1 by R. This is the block for your generator, governor as well as the turbine. All as we have assumed, all our values will be reduced to 1. Next, we are going to apply a step change for our load demand del PD of S. So when we step change value will be 1 by S. So del PD of S will be equal to del PD divided by S. So substitute the value here and just take the LCM and this is the LCM step. Then we are just reducing it. When you solve it, it will be easy for you. Please do all this calculation in your notes. So we are segregating all the expression. So 1 by S is coming here, Kp, and this denominator R will be coming to the numerator. So it is coming here divided by R into 1 plus STP plus Kp. Now we are expanding this and taking our S common outside. So our final expression of del f of s will be minus del Pd into R Kp divided by S into R plus Kp plus S into STP into R, where R is your regulation, T will be the time constant of your power system, Kp is your constant gain value for your power system. in the denominator term, we are going to take r plus kp into s as common outside. So your expression will be in this form. Now we are going to apply partial fraction for this denominator part. So when you apply the partial fraction, your equation will be like this. Kindly recollect how to solve partial fraction. And now in partial fraction, we have to compare the left side coefficients with the right side coefficients. By comparing, your a value will be equal to 1 and your coefficient of s is 0 to the right side. So the coefficient of s we have written and equated to 0. So your value for a and b we have got. Substitute this a and b value in this first equation. When we substitute, we will be getting our del f of s value. Now we have substituted the value for a equal to 1 and b is equal to minus r tp by r plus kp. Now next step is to take the inverse Laplace transform for this f of s. For finding your inverse Laplace transform, it will be easy if you keep our s term as separate. 1 divided by s plus a. If it is of that form, taking Laplace transform, inverse Laplace is easy. So we have to bring this to s plus a form, right? So here we have to take this outside. When we take this outside, your expression will be coming like this. And now we are going to take inverse Laplace. So we will be obtaining our equation, our frequency equation in time domain analysis. So del f of t will be equal to this equation. So 1 by s, when we take inverse Laplace, it is 1. And 1 by s plus a means it is inverse Laplace is e power minus at. So this is the expression for your frequency. And when we substitute the values, constant values, regulation values, everything, your response, dynamic response for the change in frequency for step load change will be obtained like this. So we have assumed our Tg and Tt value is equal to 0. So your graph will be coming like this dotted line. With a dotted line, with the assumption, your graph response will be like this. But without assumption, the actual response characteristics will be oscillatory in this form. Next is the dynamic analysis of the controlled case. So controlled case means we are going to assume our del PD is equal to 0. Change in load demand is 0 and only the speed change setting will be available. Here also we will be assuming our kg kt value equal to 1 and our tg tt value is equal to 0. So directly we have applied all these values and our expression will be reduced into this form. So when we take the Laplace, when we take the transfer function, output by input del f of s by del pc of s. So g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s. So the same step, this we have reduced. This equation is being reduced like this. And now when we apply the step change, your del pc of s will be reduced to del pc by s. So when we substitute it and reduce this, we have to apply partial fraction also here. And then when we take the Laplace transform, our final expression will be of this form. Del f of t will be kp by kp into r by r plus kp into 1 minus e power minus r plus kp by rt r into tp into t into del pc. So all this expression you have to remember. Derivation is one of the static analysis as well as dynamic analysis of controlled and uncontrolled case is one of the important question. Kindly practice to derive this. Next we are going to see the integral control of the single area system. There is a considerable droop in speed or frequency of the turbine for a given speed changes setting. Such a large deviation like plus or minus 0.5 Hz cannot be tolerated and we must develop a suitable control strategy to achieve much better frequency constancy. So, we go for integral control. The integral controller actuates the load reference point until the frequency deviation comes to 0. and also the integral controller gives zero steady state error. The speed changes setting can be adjusted automatically by monitoring the dynamic frequency changes with changes in load. We are going to assume some assumptions for the integral control, that is the time constant of your governor mechanism as well as your turbine is equal to 0, small value, so we are going to neglect it, and the speed change action is instantaneous. Immediately the speed changes and the generator can change its generation as fast as it gets the command from the speed changer. So these are the three assumptions which we are assuming. This is the block diagram of the integral control of the single area system. Normally in a single area system we will have only this loop, that is the primary LFC, load frequency loop, with the governor, turbine and the power system. With the inclusion of the integral control, that is your integrator and the frequency sensor, we will say this second loop as a secondary LFC loop, right? Now, in the integral control is composed of frequency sensor and an integrator. The frequency sensor measures the frequency del F and this error signal is fed to the integrator. The input to the integrator is called as area control error ACE, that is your del F. The area control error is the change in area frequency which when used in an integral control loop and forces the steady state frequency error to 0. So your frequency error will be 0 in your when we are using your area control error, and this will be given as the input to the integrator. Now this integrator will produce a real power command signal del PC. This del PC will actuate the speed changer. So this is your del PC value, and the negative sign in your del PC is in your del PC is for producing the decrease or increase command for the positive error frequency. Now we are going to reduce this block diagram with the basic assumptions kg/kt equal to 1 and tg/tt equal to 0. When you substitute these values here, so this term numerator will be equal to 1 and denominator tg and tt is equal to 0 now. The denominator value will also be equal to 1. So this block value will be reduced to 1. So we will be having only two summing points with kp block. When you apply the block diagram reduction, you will be having this minus k by s into del f of s, then your negative with negative minus 1 by r into del f of s, and here we are having our minus del pd of s. So these terms into this kp term will be equal to your del f of s. Then in this step we are segregating our del f of s to one side, and then when we apply the step change to the load demand del PD, so del PD will be written as del PD divided by S. So substitute your del PD in this place. On substituting for the step change in load demand, your expression will be written in this form. Next we have to cross multiply this S into 1 plus STP to the other side. So you will be getting this expression. So finally we need del f of s. So del f of s will be written in this form. It is just simplification, and in the denominator part normally your s square term should be separate. So in order to remove this tp, we are dividing the numerator and the denominator by tp. So your expression will be of this form. S square, your denominator term will be s square plus s into this constant term plus the separate constant term. Now we have to find the roots of the characteristic equation. The denominator part of the del f of s equation will be the characteristic equation. This is a characteristic equation, s square plus s term plus constant term. The same term can be rewritten in this form by adding and subtracting with this square term. So it can be written as s plus alpha the whole square plus omega square equal to 0. It is of this form. where alpha is this and omega is this term. The nature of the roots, whether it is damped or oscillatory, depends upon the value of your omega square. First case, when your omega square is equal to 0, your response of the system will be critically damped. Right? So your expression will contain e power minus alpha t and t e power minus alpha t terms. And your roots will be a repeated roots. When your omega square is greater than 0, you will be having a positive real number. Your value will be a positive omega square value will be a positive real number, and your oscillations will be a damped oscillation with this sine and cos omega t terms. And we'll say this as supercritical as this value is greater than the critical value. Third condition is your omega square less than 0. Here your omega square value will be a negative real number. So here also your response will have the terms of e power minus beta 1t and e power minus 2 minus beta 2t terms. Here your response will be damped and it will not oscillate. So when your omega square is less than 0, your value will be less than your critical value. In all the three conditions, your del f of t approaches to 0 and your system will be stable. When we see the final result, without the controller, your value will be coming like this and you will be having some frequency error. But with the help, when we are using the integral controller, your system will oscillate and at last it comes to 0 with your frequency error is reduced to 0. When we use the integral controller, the frequency error will be reduced to 0. So this dark line shows the frequency error is reduced to 0. This graph is similar to that with the controller. When we are injecting a 10% controller, your response will be coming in this form. When we are injecting 100% of the controller, then you will be getting a 0 value. When the controller value is 200, 300%, then within a small time, you will be reaching the 0 error value for your frequency. So when we are using our integral control, we can reduce our frequency error to 0. This is your advantage of your integral control. Thank you.